Bonjour, c'est Belinda, j'espère que vous allez bien. Dans cette vidéo, je vais vous parler de mon bullet journal que j'ai gardé pendant mes études français à Paris de janvier à mars. Au début, j'allais rester jusqu'au fin d'avril, mais malheureusement, j'ai dû retourner en mars. Donc, Paris me manque vraiment et je ne parle plus français. Oui, c'est ça. Alors, on va commencer en anglais maintenant. Hi everyone, it's Belinda. Welcome back to my channel. It's the first time I'm sharing with you my bullet journal. I've been bullet journaling for about 4 or 5 years now, and since I was studying abroad in Paris for my last semester, I thought it would be fun to do a journal with it and to put some of my pictures and do like daily entries. So here we are. This is my title page. I'm using a literature notebook. And it's new for France because I thought it'd be nice to start out new with it, and start out fresh. And so here's my title page. I just have some pictures of my time there. And then we have the January monthly spread. I'm actually really bad at using my monthly spreads, which is why it's so barren. It's BTS winter package themed. Printed out a bunch of pictures before I left. A lot of them are BTS, so yeah. It's first weekly and my first entry. So this is the day I left. The crazy thing is when I was waiting for my flight in the waiting area, I saw one of my friends that I've known since elementary school. We had a couple of grades together, and then we went to high school eventually together, but I haven't seen him since. So it was really great to see him again, to talk to him again. He's always been a super nice, kind, amazing person, and it was just great to see how he's been doing and to see that he's been doing some things that he really enjoys. And here's my first day at school, my name tag and things like that. A bunch of metro tickets. The thing was, well, when I first got there, France was in the middle of La Grève, and it was this big protest thing because they were trying to do reforms on retirement, and so this had a giant impact on public transportation, and the metro station was only open really in the morning, and this is like an improvements from a month before, but it was only open in the morning and not in the afternoon, so I couldn't get my metro pass for a while, for the whole first week, and so I didn't use tickets. And my first weekend there, I went to see La Tour Eiffel with some people at school. So we just walked around the Tour Eiffel, and then we went to Bon Marché, and they had this kind of cool like art thing going on where you had umbrellas and the light was shining down. There's like ambient music, and wherever your umbrella is, you can see different design drawings. And then we walked by Saint-Sulpice. And then the Sunday there, I went and saw Shakespeare & Co., which is by Notre Dame. The thing with Notre Dame is like there's big fences everywhere, so you really can't see it. I didn't bother printing off a picture. And we walked along the river. I also went to this bubble tea place. It's called Snowvan. It's super cute. They have a flower wall, and I got this drink called Puppy Love. It's like a strawberry drink, and instead of boba, they're like heart-shaped jellies. It was so cute. I liked it a lot. Here's another week. So that's pretty much how I have it set up. I have like a weekly, and then I do my dailies in between. And then my class took a trip to the Loire Valley, and we went to see Le Château de Chevrigny, and this is the place that inspired the manor in Tonton. So we went to see that, had lunch there, and then the next day we saw the Château d'Amboise. It was really pretty, and the thing is that we went to these places in the middle of January, so really nobody was there, and we were there in the morning, so we can kind of see the sunrise over the city, and it's really beautiful. Took some pictures. And then this weekend, I really wish I had a picture, but apparently I didn't take a picture. I hung out with my cousin. She lives in France. She's not currently living in Paris because she's studying in a different city, but she came back to visit for the weekend and visit her parents and stuff there. So we got to hang out, walk around, do a little shopping, and get bubble tea. Sadly, I don't have a picture. But in the evening, my host family my host mom, she had some friends over and her daughter came to visit, so we had dinner together, which was fun. It's another weekly. The thing is that I don't usually fill out my spreads before I take a picture of them, so I didn't get a chance to take a picture, so I just put stuff on sticky notes and I just never transferred it over. This week I went to this cafe. It's called Shraddha Cafe. It's like an English or an Australian style cafe, and a couple of us went there after school to work on homework, and so I ordered I ordered a hot chocolate. And I was taking this course called Paris Musée, and it was learning about art history and Parisian museums. So we went to visit the Middle Age Museum to see La Dame à la Licorne, something like that. Yeah, so I just put the ticket there in a little pocket. And then a group of us went to Le Centre Pompidou to study one Friday. The thing about the Centre Pompidou is they have a library there, and they also have this cafe with a lot of seating, so it's a pretty nice place to go study. And this is also the day I released my mixtape, so I have that there. And then this is the first time I went to dance class. I found this K-pop dance class that wasn't too far from my house, and we danced to Rubber Band by Icon, I think. And that was really fun. I love dance, and one of my goals for this year was to take a dance class, so I finally got to accomplish it. And then I went to a Korean dinner with some friends. The best thing about Paris, I feel like, is you can find anything there that you really want. So like any cuisine from the world you can find there, like shopping you can find there. So I went to a lot of Asian, Korean, Japanese cafes and restaurants. So, yep. And Ma'am is one of the Korean cafes. They like to have events for K-pop birthdays and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. And I went there, and the people who run it are really nice. When I went there, we were talking, and they're like, "Oh, who's your favorite K-pop group?" And I'm like, "BTS." And then they played BTS for me. It was really fun. And then it's pretty close to the Picasso Museum, so I went and visited that. Onto my February spread. So here's the monthly calendar. I did fill it in a little bit more. And this time I decided to do a habit tracker and a spending tracker. And I'm not really good at tracking my habits. So I have sleep before 12:30 in the morning, play piano, do videos because I wanted to do a vlog, to read, to do flashcards, and to work on my journal. So yeah, and then I did a spending tracker just because I felt like there was just, the thing is that here in the US I live at home with my family, so I don't spend too much time thinking about my spending habits. But now that I was kind of living alone, buying groceries and things and stuff, and like eating out a bit more, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of track where my spending is at. And to be honest, I did spend a lot of money, but at the same time I feel like some of it wasn't necessary. And I still ended up spending less than what they suggested that we would be spending. To be honest, I feel like living in Paris is a lot. Like the cost of living there for me was pretty much like the same as living here. A lot, and especially in terms of food, like when you eat out for lunch, you can find like a big sandwich, like a foot-long sandwich at a bakery for like 4 or 5 euros for lunch, or you can buy, you know, like meals for lunch, and they're probably around like $6 to $12. It really depends, not dollars, euros. It depends on where you're going and what you're getting. A lot of times they're also like meals, so you get your entree and then a drink or a dessert or something like that, or an appetizer with it. And for dinner, I would say it's like I'm usually around like $12 to $20. Like, and it, like I was saying, it depends on what you get and if you get a drink or dessert with it too. So I feel like where I'm living in Minnesota, it's kind of like the same thing if you go out to eat. And I did a lot of grocery shopping and cooking for myself, just because that's something I prefer to do. So yeah. Here's the weekly. And then this week we went to the Louvre with my class. And this is actually not a picture from this visit, but I had these pictures printed out and I had a space here. So that's where they went. And then my host brother, who's going to school in Switzerland, he came to visit his mom. And so I got to hang out with him and his friends. We went to this place called Flams. And they have like this flatbread, kind of like a pizza. It was fun. And then a friend from home visited and we went to the Musée d'Orsay together. Got him to take a billion pictures of me. I'm very grateful because finding people to take pictures of you is hard. But it was a lot of fun that day. I really enjoyed it. Here is a weekly. And then here's my first K-pop party. I went to this NCT 127 party at, well, I think it was just like a plain NCT party because there's a lot of birthdays in February. So I went there, got some bingsu, got stickers and all that. It was really fun. I don't stand NCT 127 yet, or NCT yet. I do like watching their like interviews and variety show content. So the day before, I was messaging my friend who's into them. I'm like, please teach me about NCT. Give me all these recommendations. What should I watch? So I could go and not be a complete fraud. So yeah, but that was really fun. And then we went to the Musée du Luxembourg with my, I start speaking in French and he just goes over to French. I went to this with my class. And then we took a class trip to Reims. And so there's my ticket for the cathedral museum visit. And then Reims is in the Champagne region. We did a champagne tasting. And I also went and bought these champagne cookies. They're like kind of like meringue biscuits, rose biscuits, and they're really good from this place. And then I went to, it was J-Hope's birthday, so they had a party for my ma'am. And this I went to alone. To be honest, I kind of struggled with making friends in France, and it's kind of hard in that I was the only person from my school that went. Some of the other students had like other people from their school that went, but we were also living like all over the city, so I feel like it was kind of hard to get to know each other. But I went to this event alone, which was fine because I love going to K-pop events. They make me really happy, and I love BTS, and they make me really happy. So I ordered these fish thingies with red bean in it. They're super good, and I got a blueberry bingsu. It was a lot of fun. It's J-Hope's day. And then for doing activities, like I would submit going to K-pop like parties for activities is like intercultural activities where you're interacting with French people, and or doing like activities with the school I was in, the program I was in, and I won a drawing thing and I got to choose a prize, and I chose a cooking class because I thought it would be fun, plus also I wouldn't have to worry about dinner. I could just go to my cooking class and I'll make dinner there. And so this is what we did. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I wish I could have gone again. I would recommend it. It's a little expensive because it's just like a cooking class, but since I had the gift card from school, it was a lot of fun. I was like, the weird thing was like everyone there was either a couple or like a parent-child couple, and so it was just me alone and me who can't really speak French. It was kind of awkward, but I liked it a lot. I went to this event for another event for J-Hope at Plus 82, and I absolutely love this cafe. It's so pretty. The people are really nice. Whenever I take a picture, they like crouch behind the counter. They're so cute. And yeah, and after that, the day later, we went to Saint-Sulpice. We went to the church there because it has one of Delacroix's last works, and that's where we're studying. And then we went to the Delacroix Museum, so I have the ticket there. And then that weekend, I went to K-pop dance class. We danced to IU's Blooming, which was really fun. And I also went to this ramen restaurant with a friend. This was a really cool place, and it was a really popular place. Like, we had to wait in line for forever. It was like at least 45 minutes, but it was worth it because the food was great, and I love the decor. It was like Japan a street at nighttime in Japan. So it was really cool. And then that weekend I also got bubble tea from this place. Lazy, something like that. I don't know. But I had this taro drink and it was really good. It's kind of by the Centre Pompidou. I'm talking too much. My voice is leaving me. But here's another weekly. And then, so one of the classes I took was piano lessons. I was originally going to do an internship, but none of the companies are really interesting to me, or the work that they were doing wasn't stuff that I was interested in. And so I'm really happy I got to do piano, because this is also something I got to continue when I was at home, and this is something that I learned a lot from. So well, earlier that day I went to IRCAM. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it, but it's like run through the Centre Pompidou, and it's for the intersection of art and technology and people doing research in that. And so what I was struggling making friends, and I'm like, how do I meet new people? And then I remembered I am a computer science major, and computer science people like having meetups all the time. So I started looking for that, and I found this one there, and it's about music education and technology, and these people that were presenting were from all over Europe, and then also there were some people from the US, and it was really interesting. And I enjoyed it a lot. And then I had my recital. I took music lessons, not with my program. It was like with my program, but not. It was at the École Normale de Musique. So that's another like conservatory school there. And so here's like a photo with some of my classmates at the recital. That was a lot of fun. I went to another J-Hope event. These events I went to alone. I like stopped trying to ask people to go with me because that was too much work. And I'm like, I will have fun by myself. I mean, it was great to have going to this J-Hope event. I got to get like bubble waffles. And the thing about restaurants and cafes in France is that about like an hour before closing, they stop taking customers for sit-in. And so I came kind of late in the day and before the cutoff, and I just got to sit there for the rest of the evening when they were open and just work on my journal, which was nice and relaxing. And then I went to the Wonho event, and this is like before. I'm also not really a Monsta X stan yet, but I really like Monsta X. I like a lot of their more softer songs, like Middle of the Night, Someone, and the music from Follow, that album. And so I did my like hurry up research to Monsta X so I could go to their party and not be like a fraud, which was good because when I came in and I went to ask for freebies, the person was like, "Who's your bias?" And I'm like, oh, let me try to remember their names. But it was just like a lot of fun, and the people there are so nice. I feel like K-pop people are usually in person, they're really nice and they're really open-minded. So we took a big group picture, and they were taking videos to send to Wano, I think. So it was really cute and fun. And the crazy thing is, the person who took this picture, I was there alone. So I just like asked this girl, like, can you take a picture of me? And then we started talking, and I found out that she also likes BTS, and we were talking, we exchanged Twitters, and we were messaging each other later. And she was like, oh my gosh, she saw my picture from Plus 82 when I went to the J-Hope party. And she was like, oh my gosh, I was there too. I think I saw you there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you were the person who was sitting at the table next to us. And the thing is, I was there with my one friend from school that likes BTS. And I saw her there sitting alone. And I'm like, you at this K-pop party, like, if you want to be alone, that's fine. But also it's like a opportunity to celebrate, and if you just didn't have anyone to come with, like, I'd like to invite you to sit with us and talk with us. But I was like, oh, I can't speak French. And then eventually her friend came, and I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. But it turned out to be the same girl, and we have a lot of shared interests like dancing and bullet journaling, and we got to meet up again a couple times, so it was really fun. She's super kind, and I miss her dearly. Yeah, so that's what happened. On to my March. Also did season's greetings. So habit tracker, spending, went home, stopped spending money. Yep, that's how it goes. Here's Jin, he's so cute. Okay, so now I was like, you know what? Who needs people? I can just go do things myself. And then I don't have to worry about them judging me, or I don't have to worry about coordinating anything. I can go whenever I want, buy whatever I want, and everything will be good. So I went to this little bakery place. It's called Sucre, and they have these little cakes. They're like probably the size of this picture. But they're super, super good, and so I got some of those. And then I also, because I'm a music major and I played in orchestra for a long time, I wanted to go see the Philharmonie de Paris. And the thing is that when you're a student in Paris, it's really great. Like, you can go to a lot of musical performances for really cheap. Like, I went for €8 and had a really good seat. And yeah, I'm really glad I went, that I just like bought the ticket, even though there were a couple of other people at in my program who were interested in music and like are music majors, and we talked about going but never made plans. And I'm like, okay, I just want to go, and I'm gonna buy a ticket and go, because if I keep waiting for people, it's never gonna happen. So I'm glad I did it, because it probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't go by myself. So there was that. I made a friend. Her name is Tiffany. She's from London. And when I was really looking for friends, I posted on this group on Facebook called SAD. And I was like, oh, I'm studying abroad in Paris. If you live here and want to hang out and just like go out to eat or go see museums and things like that. And so she reached out to me. She's also a BTS fan. We went to Aki Boulangerie. And it's like a Japanese bakery cafe. And we got matcha cakes. I got the matcha apple cake. She got a matcha roll cake. And then we got bubble tea, and we walked around. It was right by the Opera. It's actually like the Opera, which is really close to the Louvre. And I have such vivid memories of being in this area, because it's also where the Wanho party was. And that was that Momenti. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We walked around. We went to the Galerie Lafayette. And I took a picture on the terrace, and then we got Korean dinner together, which was fun. And then we also went to the Sugar Day party at Mayon, and it was fun because they decorated the store, and they made it kind of like his shadow video. Here's me with the love of my life, Min Yoongi. Yup, there we are. There's the group of us. And I also went to another party for Yoongi at Sin from Heaven, which is a bubble tea place. And this was really fun day. I went there by myself and worked on my journal for a bit, and then my friend from the Wano party, her name is Nuria, she came when she had a break, and so we got to chat for a bit. And then also they started playing, they were playing music the whole time, but there was this group of girls there, and they were playing Mic Drop, I think. And then I was like, and they were dancing, I'm like, I know this dance, I should dance with them. And so I danced with them, and it was just like a lot of fun. And afterwards, I got to talk with the other girls, and they invited me to Musico, which is like a K-pop store there. And we went together, and they're all super sweet, and I still talk to them on social media. For Yoongi Day, I really like how this spread turned out. It's super cute. So my host mom decided to make mousse for us one day, and she was like, do you want the wrapper? It has recipes. And I'm like, sure, I'll put it in my journal. So here it is. For Suga's birthday, he said to go eat chicken. And so, hashtag chicken date with Suga. I actually didn't have chicken because I woke up too late to get it before lunch and make it on time to school. So I just went to this Korean restaurant that was close to my house. And then Little Baobei is this restaurant that I've been wanting to go the entire time I was there, and I'm like, okay, I'm tired of waiting for people, I'm just gonna go for lunch by myself, and that's fine. It's gonna buy Le Centre Pompidou, and it's super cute. They make sandwiches, and for the bun they use bao bun, like the steam bun Chinese kind of a dough. So that's how they make the sandwiches. It was really good. I enjoyed that lunch a lot. And yeah, so we're coming up onto like the last week, and a lot of things were happening with coronavirus, and so I was like, okay, now I need to make the most out of my experience and try to go to everything I wanted to see. So I went to the Musée Rodin, and it's actually not too far from my school, so I wish I kind of went there more. It just kind of be nice to sit in the garden. But I went there, and then I went to Umami Cafe, which is a matcha cafe. And the thing is like my house is super cold, and this is really what I should have been doing the entire time. I should have just like gone out in the afternoon and then came back after for around dinner time when my host mom comes back and turns on the heat, because she leaves it off during the day. I went to this cafe and I just worked on my journal for a bit. It was really fun. And then I walked through the Marais area, and I ran into this place. I wasn't even looking for it. I just like was in the Marais area, and I looked around and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's where Jimin took his picture from his vlog. So I went and took a picture. Since I was by myself, I can only do a selfie. That's kind of sad. And then, so this is at a museum called Le Musée Gustave Moreau. It was actually a museum that I had to do a project on, and since things were going crazy with coronavirus, we were like, me and my partner were like, we have to do this now before they start closing, and we missed our opportunity. So we went, and it's really cool because he made this museum in his house. He transformed it himself with another architect and arranged everything. So it was kind of cool to see this place where he lived and worked. And then afterwards, I finally got my Korean fried chicken. And then I just walked around by myself. I went to Le Jardin du Palais Royal. And I think this place is pretty popular for taking pictures. And then I literally walked everywhere. Here's also in the Jardin. And then I walked to like the Louvre, which wasn't too far from there. And then I walked through like the Jardin des Tuileries by the Louvre. And then I went to the Musée de l'Orangerie, where they have like the Monets there. Also by myself. Oh, this time I actually asked someone to take a picture of me, which is like the picture I have in my cover, my title page. So yeah. And then we went to another Sugar Day party. So me and a couple of friends. This is at Plus 82. A lot of fun. And this was my last weekend there. And then I met this friend. Her name is Mila. And she reached out to me on Twitter because she was also studying in Paris. She's not from Paris. And we went to take BTS-inspired pictures. We walked across the city pretty much. We went to Le Centre Pompidou. And I finally went inside to see the galleries, which is something that I've been wanting to do. So I'm glad I finally got to do that. And we took pictures. I took like a Namjoon picture. This isn't it. But a Namjoon-inspired picture. And I took like a Jimin-inspired picture. And then this was a cool art piece they had in there. Here's my ticket. And like I was saying before, being a student in Paris is great because you can get into a lot of museums for free. And then we went to this is in front of the Louvre, and I took some pictures like Namjoon there. Not this picture, other pictures. And then we went to Tour Eiffel, and I took a picture like Taeyang. So that was really fun, and it was really crazy because that evening when I went home was when they announced that museums would be closing. So I am super thankful that I had the idea to go to all these museums before they closed them off. And then the next day, I was like, okay, if things are really starting to close, I should go spend my gift card before I don't have the opportunity to spend it. Because I bought music from a music store, and then I had to return it, and they gave me a gift card. So I went around and just did some shopping, and then I also got to hang out with a friend, one of the ones I met from Sin From Heaven, at Mayum, and so we just got bingsu and some tea together. And then I did some shopping. I went into like the Marais area, so that's where that is. And also I went to Papier Tigre, which is a stationery store, and they had this photo booth, so I took a picture. I was like the only person there. It was so awkward, but whatever. And that is pretty much it for my journal, because after that I went home. So that's it for my bullet journal. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's probably going to be really, really long. I'm really thankful for all the experiences that I had and all the people that I met in France. Although my study abroad was cut off short, I feel like I still got to do a lot of the things I wanted to and got to see a lot of things I really wanted to see. So I'm really thankful for that anyways, and hopefully I'll get to return there soon.